啊，謝寶寶。呢個位原來係個伯伯，佢係一住揸車一住講解，唔係揸車係另一個小朋友。咁伯伯就係負責講解。
You like her?
Sky.
Yeah, you're good. His name is Sky.
Sky.
S-K-Y-E.
But this is copper. Copper's just a darker gold.
哦，前面嗰個小朋友。
Everybody and welcome. Really nice to have you here. My name's Bob. I'm going to talk to you about cranberries and how they grow here and explain some of the harvest to you. We have my grandfather driving today, Paul. Just got him out of the nursing home, so we can't be out too long. He needs to get back to his medication. I do apologize for the weather. This trip is far more fun when it's rainy and cold and windy. You don't forget it, okay? But anyway, we're glad you're here. Most of you are from Toronto, apparently, right?
Yeah.
Do you still have a hockey team?
好衰。
Okay. I got Sky, so she's the only girlfriend I have left in my life.
哇！要兩隻手揸住個手機。
So Johnsons have been farming cranberries here since the late 50s. The original farmhouse is up over there. It's now our cafe, so if you want to get a coffee or sandwich, whatever, after you can do that. So we have been farming cranberries here since that time. We're now the only farm left in Ontario farming cranberries.
Oh.
The market died a few years ago and didn't recover from the farm. But also you can only grow cranberries in certain places. You need a high acidic peat soil. So most of you, when you came up from Toronto, you came through the Holland Marsh where all the vegetables are, but they can't grow cranberries. So, and we probably couldn't grow carrots.
哇，其實真係隨時落啱喎
That's
呢
the
度。
kind of the soil we have.
佢嗰
To grow cranberries, you need a
個
high acidic peat soil, and that's what we have here. So we're just in the harvest.
咁佢落酸雨咪會好開心。
The cranberry harvest lasts essentially the month of October. So you can see out here, and we'll go by this bog in a few minutes, and I'll explain a little bit about what the guys are doing there picking the cranberries now. So these bogs out here, we haven't harvested yet. The only time that cranberries are in water is when we're harvesting. They grow on dry ground. Many people think they grow in the water, but they don't. Again, the only time in water is when we're harvesting. So we use those air chambers at harvest time. We finished our harvesting over here on this bog. So we finished there a couple of days ago, and that's the way it'll stay until winter time. I'll explain a little bit about what we do at winter. These are real people. You notice up here, this is a Bala monster. He was in the distillery district in Toronto, remember?
Yeah.
And then he ended up out on an island in Muskoka, and then one morning I woke up and here he was eating all our
哦，收割啦。
He was originally
佢真係揾嘢圍住啦，不過雖然唔係深深。
So this bog here, we finished harvesting in here yesterday. So all the berries are gone. They're in a cream over there in the corner. They'll be picked up later today and taken up into the plant facility. In the spring, when the cranberry blooming, it has a pretty, it has a pretty little pink flower on it. To the indigenous people, it looks like the head of the crane. So they call it the craneberry. But in the spring, we have to bring in honeybees to pollinate the flowers because we don't have enough bees of our own. So the first year, we left the beehives out around the bog. We went to work one morning and all the beehives have been broken into. So guess what? The bears found them and birds like honey. So now we put the beehives in behind that electric fence system, and that worked pretty good. But I had a person from Toronto the other day say, Bob, when you put the bees in behind the fence, how do they get out? And I didn't want to have to explain to her that bees could fly, but obviously some of you didn't know that either. So maybe if you're taking notes, you could write that down. There will be a test if we get that. So the cranberries are growing in here. They grow on a vine that's about 6 feet long and only about 6 inches high. So we train to go to the length of the bog. So when we harvest, we always harvest in the same direction.
Oh.
So that's what's going on now. You see all these ducks and geese out here?
Uh-huh.
They're all battery operated. So before I go home at night, I have to collect them and put them on a charger because we have more people coming from Toronto that want to see wildlife. Actually, we're in the migration path, so they're heading south. But they don't eat a lot of cranberries. Cranberries are pretty sour things when they're there. So when you buy a bag of cranberries, you might be surprised to find white berries in the bag. If you do, there's no problem. If you Guy, come here. She doesn't like the deep smoke. If you cook them, they turn red. If you put them in the freezer, they turn red. It's just that the color hasn't come out on them yet. So that's what happened. But years ago, because they weren't marketable, we started making white cranberry wine. So how many doing the wine tasting? Some of you are? Okay, you'll sample 6 or 7 different wines that were all done here at the farm. If you've had 6 and I'm not handsome,
啲鴨仔個個見到架車嚟即係走，頭先喺個路度。
So that's what happened. Just to recap, when we're ready to harvest, we flood the bog. You bring the water down from the falls over here. The other side is Lake Orwell. So the water comes down, it floods the bog. Then once we flood it, we get all the fruit off that we can. Then we change the water to the next bog and the next bog. Because we don't do any damage to the water, we don't use a lot of pesticides and chemicals, we're not damaging the water. So we can use it over and over again.
啲 water 可以 recycle。
that water, then we bottle it, send it to Toronto for the drinking water. You didn't know that. So the water level's starting to go down on these bogs, but we're going to go by the far bog, and I'll explain a little bit about the harvest and when we get over there. So once we got all the fruit off, we drain the water, and it stays like that until winter time comes. So when it gets into winter, say the middle of December, we flood the whole farm again, so it looks like a big lake. The reason for that is if we want ice to form on top of the vine. So when ice forms, then the frost goes down into the roots and puts the plants into dormancy for the winter. So these bogs here now have not been harvested. We'll be in here later in the week, but you can see some of the berries in there.
有喺度㗎，即係匿埋晒咁
So we
㗎。
do another thing at winter time. Once we have ice, we have a piece of equipment called the Cranboni. It was a Zamboni. So we bring it out, clean the ice off.
有啲 berry 喺裏邊喎。
And that is becoming very, very popular.
嗱呢個就翻咗啦。
On the weekends, we put in about 1,000 torches around the farm so you can come and skate the torchlight. So that's becoming popular, and people find that romantic. I didn't notice that, but I did enjoy the skating. So lots of things happening here in the farm. So here we are just harvesting here. That blue machine out there is called the Getzinger Retractable Fruit Picker. And that goes in because when the berries are flooded, they float to the top of the vine. That blue machine gently breaks the berries off the vine. So that's how we get our fresh fruit. And we want to get as much fresh fruit as we can. Once we got all the fruit off that way, then we go through another piece of equipment. It's called the meter. And that's
佢日日都唔知行幾多轉。
So those berries are still good for juice and jam. And fresh fruit. So that machine there, the blue machine, is a Getzinger Retractable Fruit Picker. So that gently takes the berries off the vine, puts them into those boats, then they float the boat to the side, and then later on pick them up and take them up into the farm for harvesting. So all these berries here will be picked up during the day.
哦，即係隱藏咗嘅啫。其實頭先我哋行嗰度都係未收割嘅地方。
So guys, we're open every day of the week. We have every day we have tours going on. We have what's called the bog the bottle, so you can find out what's going on the farm, and then go in and do wine tasting, whatever. And then in the winter we have snowshoeing, a lot of hiking trails, and of course our ice skating. So check on
skating 都有。
what's going on in the farm. We'd like you to come back and
即係喺啲 berry 上邊嚟到去 skate，
The other thing we do in the spring,
好似靜怡咁樣，牛奶沖涼。
500 maple trees. So to make maple syrup, you have to get 400 liters of sap to make 1 liter of maple syrup. So we got to boil it down, and that's quite labor intensive. So, but that's also something that you can see in the spring. Now over above where those cars are parked there, that's Blueberry Hill. So we're farming blueberries. All these things we've had to do, especially the winery, to stay alive as a farm. If we didn't have that and nice folks like visiting us, we wouldn't be here. The cranberry market is not strong enough to sustain our farm. So again, thank you for coming and thank you for enjoying our product.
耶！後邊有個鬼婆喺度不停喺度講電話。
Full of cranberries and then puts them into the truck and takes them up into the plant for milling. 25% of our product goes into our winemaking. The rest, when you go into the store, you'll see cranberries there by the bag, and we don't ship too far away, mostly locally, but they are available in the store.
好，行完一個圈啦，咁就。
Yes, just watch out for the equipment. Stay off the trail we were just on, but be very, very careful. Guys, when we stop, if you want to get coffee and that, the cafe is right across the road there. If you're going to wait in the bog, then it's over in the far corner. You can see that when you go over there. And then if you going to do the wine tasting, it's the other side of the store. So folks, it's really, really nice. I do apologize for the weather. We can't do anything about the sunshine. But it's good to have you here. Paul's going to come around and let the stairs and enjoy the rest of your day. If you have any questions, I'll be around and we can talk about it. So thanks for coming.
Thank you，耶！ 好正。
喺個欄杆嗰度，好搞笑啊！
嗰個咩啊？
嗰個小朋友，佢爭啲爬出去，但係跟住唔俾佢爬，佢唔開心。
係啊。
係啊。
但係好搞笑，我頭先聽到，咦？點解有人不停喺度講嘢嘅咧？跟住我擰頭嘅時候，見到佢阿媽喺度講緊電話。係啊。跟住咧，咦？你哋兩個已經走咗。
跟住佢阿媽我捉住佢唔俾佢爬，佢媽就過咗嚟。
跟住話咦咁人哋講解緊，你不停喺度講電話咁騎你啊！我哋去嗰個 store 嗰度睇睇。呀，跟住我哋就 move on 啦。
唔會，我呢間嘢啲嘢係靚，我覺得係。
係啊。
係啊。